Page number
155.
Très bon. Très bon. Where's your songbook? We have a songbook. 155, please. 155.
155, yeah. Can I?
Okay. 155. Would you like to leave?
Can I?
I'm late. Your choice, Maharaj.
Sure.
Oh, your choice, your page number, Maharaj. Okay. And your favorite.
Bajo hure mana rinandana amoya charanara Bajo hure mana rinandana amoya charanara Srila
Devasis Prabhu ki jai.
We do that. Can you do that song that Acharya Maharaj would sing, that Jaya Yashoda Nanda? Let's see where it is. Page 235. 235. Is it? Yeah, down at the bottom. You can sing this. Do you know this one? Jaya Jashoda Nanda, Jaya Jashoda Nanda, Krishna Gopala Govinda. You know that?
I'm not very too familiar, so
Okay.
best somebody else.
Acharya Maharaj was singing this.
I want to make a mess of it.
You heard him singing it?
It's a massacre.
Jaya Jashoda Nandana Krishna Gopala Govinda.
Jaya Jashoda Nandana Krishna Gopala Govinda.
Jashoda Nandana Krishna Gopala Govinda.
Very nice, Maharaj. It's like we were locked in.
And going like this. Bhakti Vinod Thakur's song about, Krishna, very nice, going in circles. Okay, you're here now. And you ready? Now it's 11:15. We're in what stage? We're going to the
Main program.
main program.
This is the main
And then
program,
later-
isn't it?
And Devasis was the MC.
Little Vaishnava Theater presents.
Can we get all the sannyasis to sit on the chairs, please?
Yes, please.
Yes, I've been sitting cross-legged long enough. I need to. This is my maximum.
Sit on the chair, please.
Little Vaishnava Theater presents Scissors and Knife.
May
No one
you
part
please.
drop.
May you
I'm going
please.
to. Give me time. Don't rush.
Commentary by Janardan following.
Presented by the Little Janardi Theater, the Little Janardi actors. All right, so this is the final, right? No, you're the MC.
I know, but I
you
think
need to direct this from the
I
middle.
think that should be someone a little bit removed from
No,
the
no,
venerable
Hey,
Vaishnava.
please.
Oh.
Devasis, Prabhu.
No,
Please.
here's good.
That's
Then
our MC.
I can see everything.
MC here.
Trying to give me closer association. Where's, Sripad Nyasi,
MC,
and Tridandi.
MC, Mahachandra Gupta.
MC.
Hidden from the eyes of all, you emerge resplendent.
Where's the street of Mahaaj?
Devasis.
Nyasi Maharaj? See the thing?
think still with the kids.
Okay.
Hidden from the eyes of all, Devasis emerges resplendent from behind the hidden cloud. So, where is everybody? Huh? Many people.
We're all watching on TV.
There were some people that were here already.
Why are they here?
They're what?
They watch it.
Oh, we'll get
They watch it on TV. On TV.
I'm on TV, but we want to get the TV watchers come. A plea to the TV watchers, please come to the temple. TV watchers, please come to the temple. Those who are watching on TV, are we on the air, by the way? Oh,
You might get the whole neighborhood start coming in, Maharaj, when you say that, because they're watching on TV.
but are they watching us?
Yeah.
Watching us, watching them, watching us.
Maharaj, you can have Madhusudan Maharaj sit there. Maybe she will go over one.
And you'll sit where?
I'll sit here.
You'll sit here.
No, Madhusudan Maharaj should sit there.
But you need a more sturdy seat to support you, right?
Please sit on the solid chair.
Sit on the spotted chair here.
Yeah.
But this is in the corner. I like that seat.
I'm close with Devasis Prabhu. Pick up a good energy.
Where is Madhusudan?
Here he is.
Steal my iPad now.
Hey, wait a minute.
What are you doing?
No, I'm taking these.
No. How about moving your chair just over it?
That way.
Crowded in the corner. And move over there. Yeah, that's the ticket. All right, now, more natural arrangement. Okay. We're starting now?
Yes. Jai Saparikashi Sri Guru Gauranga Radha Giridhari Jiu Ki Jai. Jai Sri West London Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math 4th anniversary Mahotsav Ki Jai. Jai Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswata Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Vygraha Nyasi Maharaj Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj Ki Jai. Bhakti Hriday Mahayogi Maharaj Ki Jai. Sripad Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srimati Vishakha Didi Ki Jai. Jai Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande.
Thank you. Devasis Prabhu ki
Honorable mention to Ramai. Prabhu Ki
Jai. All right.
Who was scheduled to be here with us, seated along here so we can think.
He's here
He
in
is.
spirit.
Yeah.
He is with us.
He's here in spirit.
Yes.
And he well made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
You know,
believe it. Yeah.
certainly has the capacity to do that.
So here we all are again, the 4th year since the opening of this branch of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj considered that London as his own place of preaching, and it was his desire that we make a mott in his name here in London. We asked his permission to do that around 1983, and graciously he sent a letter signed with his own hand, which was a very rare thing in those days. And in that letter it said, if you will make something in the name of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math in London, I will consider that to be great service to my Guru Maharaj, Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And the name of that mott and mission will be Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, London chapter. So we endeavored to fulfill Guru Maharaj's desire. Our capacity was small, therefore our temple also small, but still from that day, that mott has continued and grown. In the time of Srila Govinda Maharaj, main focus was at our Green Street mott, 466 Green Street, East London. His first world tour, when Gurudev came, that was at Manor Park, a rented property at Manor Park. And Gurudev came there, and happily came there. And we held the festival there, and it was very nice. And shortly after that, we some new centre was found in Green Street, and we managed to secure that. And Gurudev came. Every time that he came out of India, he came to that small house in East London and sit in that window and look out at Ken's Cafe and watch the people coming and going, and bless that part of London, all of London actually, with his holy lotus feet.
In Green Street.
In Green Street, yeah. But always his, you can say, concern, disappointment, and observation, Jai, Srila Bhakti, Svarup Tridandi Maharaj ki jai, was that, oh, it is too small. And because of that, we were always looking for something bigger. And we cannot make anything bigger, we do not have any capacity for that. But still, Sripad Nyasi Maharaj, Sripad Bharati Maharaj, is not here, Bharati Maharaj? No. Okay, then they dedicated their lives for that, to try to find that new place. And it was not, again, we so many near misses, we can say. So many places, yes, and then no, yes, and then no. And then finally, just after the disappearance of Srila Gurudev, actually you can say coinciding with the disappearance of Gurudev, this place was secured by the efforts of Bharati Maharaj and Lalita Madhav Prabhu, Pandita Didi. And this place was a wonderful place. It was, we can say, our feeling was the gift of Srila Gurudev to us, and the fulfillment of his desire for that bigger place for Srila Guru Maharaj's mission to continue. Something, you can say, consummate with the position of Srila Guru Maharaj. A Green Street mott that is very humble and very small and very, you can say, not so prestigious. But Srila Gurudev was happy there with that mott. He said, one day he said, we do not care if it is big or it is small, but that it is 100% Guru Maharaj. That is our concern. Anyway, by the will of Gurudev and by the grace of the Vaishnavas, this beautiful building came. And this building you could bring the Queen to this building. No problem. Maybe a little problem, 466 Green Street. But this building, the Queen can happily come and give some offering to the Lord of Sankirtan, Sri Gauranga Sundar, who took possession of this house 4 years ago. It was by the grace, we can say for sure, by the grace of Srila Janardan Maharaj that had happened. He came for that and made that happen. And we are eternally grateful to him for that. And we must say that that this is running under the auspices and blessings of Srila Guru Maharaj's, Srila Gurudev's successor Acharya of Navadvip Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj. And we are grateful for his support and his encouragement to us all, although we may be unfit for that. But still we are trying to fulfill Srila Gurudev's desire. So now that I have, you can say, captive audience of you all, then I can also take this opportunity to, with all humility and that I have in my position, to ask you all, headed by Srila Acharya Maharaj, to please forgive my offences, which may be numerous, no doubt, that may be real or may be perceived, but still, if I have made any offence to any Vaishnava, it is to my great regret, and I wish that you will all give your grace to me. We are praying every day to the Vaishnavas, and we are telling that they are Kripa Sindhu, that they are the oceans of mercy, and it is true. So surely the Vaishnavas will forgive any offence on my part. And we wish that everyone will continue in this line of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, which is the exclusive line of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, as spread all over the world by his divine servitor Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. And Srila Govinda Maharaj very wisely left this mission in the hands of his most exclusive devotees, trusted devotees. And we are proceeding under their direction, under their guidance, and under their blessings. So this is the 4th year since the opening of this temple, this beautiful temple. And every time we come here, we see it is becoming more beautiful. And it is becoming more exalted. And the preaching is becoming more established and dignified and wonderful in the line of Srila Guru Maharaj. And we must give all credit to the devotees who have made that happen. Actually, a temple is only a building of bricks and mortar and glass and steel and so many other things. But what makes it a temple, what makes it the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, are the Vaishnavas that inhabit that place, that serve in that place, that give their life and soul for the service of this West London Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. We are grateful to them, we are indebted to them, and we worship their lotus feet. There are too many to name all, otherwise we'll be here all day. But particularly we must mention Saraswati Didi, who tirelessly giving her service for that. And all of those Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis serving under her direction. And the coordination of the preaching, which is going so nicely by the assistance of Vishakha Didi. She is making so many plans and progress and encouraging everyone and bringing everybody in to do some seva here. It is very nice. We were very satisfied to see that. So, without further ado, I wish to ask our respected Tridandi Brinda, Vaishnava Brinda, to say something about this great festival day. It is in the approach to Janmashtami, the original opening day, just the day or 2 days before the Janmashtami festival that year. And so many Vaishnavas also came at that time to give their grace, to give their blessings, to give their encouragement. And it has become, we can say, like a tradition now. Every year we are trying to do that, and we are so fortunate to have their association here. You all know all of them, so not necessary to give so much introduction, but first our Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj, who is a charger of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math in the USA, and many of his disciples also serving here. And we are so grateful for his encouragement and his association. And as he mentioned, we were expecting that Sripad Ramai Prabhu would also be here with us for this festival. And we believe he is with us. But as you all know, he passed away a few days ago on the disappearance day of Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhu. It is no insignificant thing. And he was Archaniketana. In the time of Guru Maharaj, he was given this honorific title of devotion, the very embodiment of the worship of Lord Sri Krishna. Then we are remembering him with much affection and sadness. Excuse me. But we are not discouraged, because we know that although his manifest service to his Lord, that we do not see anymore, but he has entered into the unmanifest Leela of the Lord. We believe that. So we are remembering him also. And through our remembrance, Srila Gurudev said, when you remember the Vaishnavas, they are with you. So we are thinking of him. Sripad Ramai Archaniketan Prabhu Ki Jai. So without further ado, I'd like to ask Srila Janardan Maharaj to say some words on this festival day. And also, the Vaishnava festival is for the glorification of the Vaishnavas. So it would be remiss of me not to glorify him. Srila Gurudev, once he told me, personally he told me, Prabhu, I cannot tell you how much love I have for Janardan Maharaj. I do not need to say any more than that. Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, please excuse me. Before we do that, we have actually Srila Acharya Maharaj has sent some words for the encouragement of the devotees here. We should hear that first. So I have this, hopefully. This is short, but let's make sure I'm connected. Yes, ready. Okay, hopefully. So please give your attention to Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj.
Jai Sripad Guru Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Vishakha Srila Guru Maharaj ki jai. Jai Sripad Guru Srila Bhakti Sundar Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Jai Shapri Sri Sri Guru Ranjan Govinda Sundar Guru ki jai. Jai Shapri Sri Sri Nikai Guru Chandra Guru ki jai. Jai Vishnu Bhagavan Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Thakur Guru ki jai. Namacharya Hriday Thakur ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. All the worldwide devotees ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan. Jai Chaitanya Saraswati Math ki jai. Chaitanya Saraswati Math London ki jai. Jai all the assembled devotees ki jai. Samavati Sri Guru Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Jai Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math London Grand Cross Temple is Pratishta Varshiki Mahamotsav ki jai. Samagata Sannyasi Brahmacharya all the assembled devotees ki jai. Samagata Sri Guru Bhakti Vrinda ki jai. Jintai Guru Premanande. I am very happy because every year we are going to celebrating the festival in London in Pratishtha Varshiki. That is, we are doing the festival every time, every year in this day. But from the beginning, I could not go there because of my legal problem. And if actually I cannot go there, but my mind and heart, everything is there. My body is not actually there, but my heart, mind, with everything will be involved, and the devotees. Because Gurudev told that London, Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math is the on corner on room of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math head office. For that, I am always that remembering Gurudev's word, the word Gurudev told. But all the devotees are going there, or some of the sannyasis also are going there. We will be present there, and I am very happy. But Gurudev wanted to be in the temple, because we have one center also, Green Street, and Gurudev was there. And Gurudev always telling this center is very small. If we can get the big center, and that is good. But that Gurudev's time, that was not possible. But after that, Gurudev's desire, Gurudev's strong desire and Gurudev's mercy, everything is with us. And we can finally we can we made this ashram by the help of some devotees. They are also giving so much contribution. When I established the temple, when we bought the house, that time Srila Bhakti Maharaj and Shasi Devi's son-in-law. Actually, I cannot remember our name in this front because they contribute every time so much money for this temple. After Saraswati Devasis, he took the management charts. He took the management charts after so much devotees like Lavanya Mui, Devasis, Devi, and Mahayogi Maharaj, and they also helped finally financially help the temple, and in this way this is happens in the Saraswati cross, and finally that is also came from the Indian street, and both temple and deities worship the both places properly. And so many outsiders, outsiders like Venezuela, Colombia, there are so many devotees, Western devotees. There are so many devotees. So many devotees are helping to run the temple. I also thinking, actually it is not my temple, it is the devotee's temple, it is your temples.
Jai Srila Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai.
And just ended there?
Yes.
Connection came off, is it?
No, it's
That's it?
That's
it. All right. So Maharaj, tonight and Maharaj, please, you could also say something.
Om Jnanatimanandasya Jnanajana Shalakya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Gurva Bishtam Supurakam Gurganar Sisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chintya Samasta Vedanipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Vande Vishwa Guruncha Divyat Bhagavat Premnavi Bijapradam Devam Divyatanum Suchandavaranam Balarka Chilanchitam Sandrananda Puram Sadekavaranam Vairagya Vidyambudim Sri Siddhanta Nidim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Varam Vandetam Shubhanam Madeka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shidaram Sri Siddhanta Saraswaditi Vidito Gaudiya Gauravandvaye Bhato Banoriva Prabhata Gagane Yogora Sankirtanai Mayavada Timingi Laudaragatan Udritya Jivaniman Krishna Prema Sudabdi Gahana Sukam Pradat Prabhum Tambaje Manjakopatarubhyas Chakripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavenibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabharanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Goratavishe Namah. So what we could hear from Sripad Bhakti Nirmala Acharya Maharaj, he is saying that he's always desiring to be here in spirit, but because of some problems mainly legal problems, he could not be here. But he's sending a message to all the devotees that his feeling is for the desire of Srila Guru Maharaj, who wanted to establish a mat in London, in England, and that he considered it was the will of Srila Saraswati Thakur that there would be some preaching going on in here. And we always heard Govinda Maharaj speaking that the prophecy of Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, that within 50 years there would be Western devotees coming to India and joining with the Bengali devotees and chanting Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaurahari, that it was inconceivable to them. They knew it was Bhakti Vinod Thakur's prophecy, so they knew it would come true, but how it would come true, they didn't know. And they were saying the idea that they were subjects of Great Britain then at that time, and that the British would come there and the Westerners would come there and chant Jai Sachinandana, Jai Gaurahari was mind-boggling. That was not something that was in the realm of thought or possibility. But Bhakti Vinod Thakur had prophesied that, so they believed it would happen. But in the words of Srila Govinda Maharaj, he said, Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada made that prophecy come true. Okay. And here we continue consider to continue the prophecy, because ISKCON, they recruited leading persons, and leading persons means in this country the Beatles. They got the Beatles, and they got so many devotees to join here, and they established, as I was talking with Mr. Banerjee this morning, Bhaktivedanta Manor, they established that. But I always came to London, and I always stayed with Vishakha's mother and her 3 daughters, Vishakha and Ashapurna, and also Ishwari. They stayed there. They had a place not too far from the airport. Because sometimes I just come through for a day or two, and to go all the way to East London. It was 3 hours there, 3 hours back. You didn't know if you would make your plane, or so sometimes I'd visit with them. But it was Govinda Maharaj's desire there be a temple near the airport. He expressed that. So maybe other places were discarded because they weren't close enough to the airport. And then this place came up, and it is a beautiful, beautiful temple. And so in that way this happened, and I'm it's mentioned about Ramai passing away, but it's just like so many persons I'm feeling passing away. Yudamanyu Seva Bikram and Vaishnav Maharaj and Rishabdev Prabhu and Siddhanti Maharaj and Madhusudan Maharaj, Mukunda Prabhu, he passed away, and Tapasvi Maharaj. These are all persons that I knew well. And I was, in each one, I feel the impinging, jaws of time just like closing in. So in SoCal, I wanted to have, since time before, I wanted to have that, what we called an action committee, to have some direct participation of the devotees, we could say the next generation and the generation of that, after that, coming forward to take up some service. And at first I did not know how that would happen, because, when I would ask persons, they would say, but I have a job. I have a job. So many people have jobs, and it's natural that, in this Western society, you can't exist without having a job. It's like, You know, we are not among the 1% or whatever you want to say. We don't just have money to burn. So the devotees are working hard to be able to maintain themselves. But I was always feeling that we should have, now we see so many persons leaving this world, we should also, like now Ramai, we should see that the other persons will come forward and take up some you know, I won't say responsibility. They will accept responsibility. I'm saying that they'll accept some leadership role in the mission, and I'm thinking that that's already will be happening. One other person I wanted to mention, who I'm most several persons I'd like to mention. One of them is Lavanya Mui. That you know. She's always been very prominent here in London. She was prominent in Green Street, and she's prominent also here along with Saraswati. And I was, you know, she's shown herself fearless. We all heard the story of how she disarmed somebody who was walking around with a huge knife during Tulsi Arti, and you know, and how she convinced him to give up that knife, and you know, like other persons would have been very daunted by somebody walking around with a knife. You know, you wouldn't want to approach such a person, but she's able to do that. And then I'm also seeing here Lakshmi Conte. She was the secretary in Kolkata. There, you could say, well, she ran. In other words, she ran the Sevak Pavan, and we'd all go there, and so many times there'd be big festivals in Navadip, and she'd be, you know, left behind in the Sevak Pavan, making all arrangements for the devotees and everything like that. So she was very selfless person. You know, so many years going on and serving Acharya Maharaj, you know, very selflessly. And I consider, you know, like Govinda Maharaj, he said, I never had any sons, but I had daughters, you know. And he said, similarly in this mission, many of the ladies have come forward and taken up prominent roles within the society. Not that the men or gents haven't done so, but you know, but the ladies have taken up a especially big role within this mission. And you see here in London, they're doing so, and I see in India they're doing, but Mexico, persons like Madhuchanda and Lakshmi Rani and other persons, they have taken up big roles within the society. And, you know, here along with them, and seeing Sachi and her daughter, you know, Pandita and Anjana, Anjali, she's, yes, a long time before I saw her come forward, join with the devotees in Kolkata. I saw that she was with the devotees. And there's so many stalwart devotees. Of course, Devasis, here's Ratnavali also. You know, always was coming to visit Govinda Maharaj. Of course, from the very beginning, I always had, myself, I always had admiration for Devasis Prabhu, because I heard him give lectures, and I thought, oh, he speaks the philosophy that Srila Guru Maharaj has presented. He can talk very nicely. And I've talked with Kamal Tyagi Maharaj. Kamal Tyagi Maharaj is like, you know, he's one of the persons who's taken up so much leadership in the mission. And he's a young person. He's what I'm talking about, leader of the upcoming devotees. He's already not upcoming. He's already arrived. But he's, you know, like, but he's a person who, you know, has, you know, like he's not some whatever. Well, I don't want to I'm just speaking jocularly, but he's not some doddering old person, old man, but he's actually, you know, very, very versed in the scriptures. And, you know, sometimes I talk with Goswami Maharaj, and Goswami Maharaj expresses, he says, you know, Goswami Maharaj, he expresses what he calls a, what is it, the trifecta, what is it, you know, and they have a term for betters, you know, the...
Trifecta.
What?
Trifecta.
Trifecta, you know, trifecta means that you could bet on the winners of 3 consecutive races, like the first, second, and third race. It's a big sweepstakes. So he speaks about the trifecta of, you know, persons who knew Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, persons who knew Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and persons who knew Srila Govinda Maharaj. And, you know, many of the persons that I mentioned who have passed away, they were in that group. They were in that dwindling group, we can say, you know, that knew all these acharyas and passed away. The acharyas have passed away, and they have passed away. Those acharyas, they have passed away, and those who knew those acharyas, they are passing away. Of course, in the beginning, I expressed to Srila Prabhupada, it was kind of a joking comment, but, you know, Prabhupada took it, he understood. I wasn't saying, actually I wasn't joking when I said it. Prabhupada asked me, why do you want to take sannyas? And I said, because I can't work with any of my god brothers. That was the reason. Now if somebody nowadays wanted to take sannyas and somebody said, why do you want to take sannyas? And if they said, I can't work with any of my god brothers, they'd say, get out, get out. But Srila Prabhupada said, very good reason. He accepted that because I guess maybe he couldn't work with his god brothers either. You know, so I think that hit home a little bit, that reason. And anyway, but I meant when I said that, I think now looking back, I meant mostly, you know, with all due respect, mostly the disciples of Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. That's who I was talking about. Because now I'm working with many of my god brothers, and somehow or other even that's overridden who was a disciple of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, just the fact that they are disciple of Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. I'm considering that that's the overriding factor. They may be disciples of Prabhupada, they may be disciples of Srila Guru Maharaj, but if they're disciples of Govinda Maharaj, then they're okay. Then I can, and then we can accept that, you know. So, and that became kind of I felt very, very good, as I've said before, when I was with Srila Govinda Maharaj in Vrindavan, and he said, now I've come to Vrindavan, so I'll have to execute some austerities. And I said to Srila Govinda Maharaj, please, you know, as Vaishnava Maharaj would say, please, you know, you're the person who purifies the holy places. The holy places get contaminated by all the pilgrims who go there with the interest of just dumping their karma. And Prabhupada used to say that there was a class of ladies who would go to the holy places like Vrindavan or Puri or Hardware. They go there with the idea that they were thinking to have a good son meant that they could trap a sadhu, and maybe have a sadhu by a good, you know, have a son by a sadhu, that would be good for them. But then, because the world of the cheaters and the cheated, then there were a class of cheater men who would go there and pretend to be sadhus so that they could catch the women who were going to the holy places to catch the sadhus. You know, so these kind of things are going on, you know, cheating. And that would obviously contaminate the holy places with this kind of, you know, like, you know, as Prabhu would say, rascaldom going on, you know, so then, but I said to Govinda Maharaj, you're the kind of persons, the saints, who go to the holy places to, you know, they make the holy places holy. They're the real meaning of they're the personified holy places. And Srila Govinda Maharaj said, well, you are talking like that because you are a disciple. And then I thought, so nice to be included by Srila Govinda Maharaj, that he is saying, I'm his disciple. Now I feel like my life is successful. I actually felt like, so many times Govinda Maharaj would treat us as his god brothers, and he'd talk like that, and I'd say, what? We're a bunch of pups, and you're the real thing, and we're just, like coming from the West, and who are we? But now to be included by Govinda Maharaj as his disciple, then I thought, now he said it, very good. I'm very happy. So now I can work with all these persons who are my god brothers. Before I couldn't, but now that they are god brothers because they are disciples of Govinda Maharaj, then that kind of like covers everything. Then we can work with everyone, and then so I'm, and I honestly look to, Goswami Maharaj, sometimes Goswami Maharaj and myself, we would have arguments, but at the same time, and I know Ramai felt this way too, that Goswami Maharaj, he brought Srila Sridhar Maharaj's mission to the West. He really did that. He was recognized by Guru Maharaj, and he was recognized by Govinda Maharaj for doing that. So I always feel very, very good in his association. Now I know recently that Devasis, he was in SoCal, and he was giving a talk, actually a beautiful long 2-hour talk. And he made the remark that to the fact that Guru Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj, they are essential, and all the rest of us, we are disposable. You could say replaceable or disposable. He used the word disposable. Later he said, well, maybe it's an unfortunate choice of words, but I'm thinking this is really what the point is, that Guru Maharaj and Govinda Maharaj, they're essential. Of course, who can say that Acharya Maharaj is not essential? Who can say that Goswami Maharaj is not essential? And I know Devasis has great appreciation for both, Acharya Maharaj and Goswami Maharaj. He would never say that they are disposable persons, but he's expressing that in his ardor or in his fervor for Srila Sridhar Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj, because that was what was initially very, the very like something that's causing everything to happen in the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. First Srila Sridhar Maharaj, and then Srila Govinda Maharaj, because Srila Sridhar Maharaj said, I can go at any time. So who will continue with this mission of mine, especially in regard to the Westerners when I'm not present? And then Govinda Maharaj said he would, and Guru Maharaj was very happy with that. And obviously Govinda Maharaj, he, publicly he named Srila Acharya Maharaj as his successor. It's all, it's on video. There's no, everybody can see that. And Govinda Maharaj, when he was in San Jose, he said, this is the labor room of my mother. And he was referring to that so much was presented in San Jose by Goswami Maharaj. That's where the books were presented. That's where the conception was given to so much of the world through the Guardian of Devotion Press. But always I would, we could not think of the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math without thinking of the devotees in London, because as long as there was the development there in the United States, at the same time I came here. I just come with the devotees, then I was regarded as a possible spy, a spy from ISKCON, and it was viewed with some suspicion. and I went to Blackheath, and I saw the some, we could say boiling of the cauldron, that was going on there. Sagar Maharaj, he was coming from, where is it, Harrogate, right? Is that there? Right?
Yeah.
Harrogate. He took me up there once. He said it's a short drive. It wasn't. It was quite a long drive. But when Srila Govinda Maharaj would come to West London, and we'd stay in Berry Place. Not Berry Place. Berry Place was Prabhupada originally, but when we stay in Green Street, it was like, it was a very beautiful place, and so many pastimes would go on there. I'm rambling, but I would see that Govinda Maharaj, he would look out the street onto Green Street, down on Green Street. He'd see everything going on. He's actually happy to be, a place where there's a lot of movement. Green Street is not like a staid, quiet street. It's a street, that's got a lot of traffic going on, back and forth, pedestrians and cars and everything. The football stadium was right down the road, and so many people would come, on the weekends. And, Govinda Maharaj would look out across the street. There was that cafe there, and he'd see the sign. Somebody would be selling hot dogs, and I remember he said, they have hot dogs. Do they have hot cats? But when the devotees would come there wasn't really any room for us to stay. I mean, in one sense, everyone, devotees were going down the street to a petrol station to use the bathroom there in order to be able to, just go to the bathroom. They'd go down the street to one of the service stations, and if you use the bathroom down there in Green Street, you'd be using the facilities and hear conversations, both men and women, going on right outside the door, and it was like, you felt inhibited. You couldn't take a shower. It was like almost being in the bathhouses, even though it was a private shower stall. But it was quite public, and the facilities upstairs were very, they were very modest also. So we always everyone had a desire, the devotees of London and the devotees like that. That was common in Govinda Maharaj's world tours. Same, even though it was bigger, the Villa Govinda was bigger, but there also be, some crowding there. So we always wanted a place that was, one, bigger and very majestic, like here, and two, that was close to the airport, so that you didn't have to ride 3-4 hours through traffic in order to be able to get to the temple. It was almost as far as going to Harrogate. So, so this place was gotten, and then Devasis. Then we were talking that it would be. At first, the devotees were saying, well, they said that the deities, all the deities would come from Green Street here. Not only all the deities, but all the pujaris. So, we were thinking, is that really going to happen? I don't think so. People were living in East London. They weren't going to move. Is this even considered? This is West London in one sense, but it's a special borough, isn't it? It's like almost
Middlesex.
Yeah, it's actually not, strictly speaking, London. Middlesex, yeah.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was wondering, what does this name mean, Middlesex? But then they said it was something related with Essex, right? Middle Essex, like Middle Essex or something like that. Yeah, London does have some odd names. But then Devasis, he actually had the desire that You know, it was natural that this Lord, you know, Gauranga Sundar, that he would come here, you know, and we have many temples where Mahaprabhu is there and Giri Govardhan is there and Giri Raj. So that originally the devotees, they were expressing that how will we be able to do the worship, you know, that we're not trained as pujaris and we have our children, responsibilities. And we were saying, well, that's not a problem. But, and I know this is also true in SoCal, that who will eat so much rice that has to be offered to the devotees? I mean, has to be offered to the Lord. That the devotees are not always eating so much rice, you know. They're vegan. I don't know. You know, there are so many people that are saying they're vegan. I said, you know, that even in SoCal, that's a popular movement. I said, you know, well, you know, Krishna was a cowherd boy. He wasn't a Japanese soybean farmer. So, anyway, but they were saying, what about who will eat so much rice? Our children are liking pasta. They said, well, you know, rice is so processed anyway. And we always read that the Vaishnavas won't eat. You know, they eat this, that so much of the rice we get is, even though it's made by, I can excuse it because it's actually made by machine. It's not cooked by human hands, but still their dehusking is done by, you know, some boiling process, right? So we could say it's partially cooked. I said, so the rice is, in one sense, partially processed. The Vaishnavas, formerly, they wouldn't eat, they wouldn't offer that to the deity. It had to be rice that was milled by hand almost to take the husk off of it. And then it would be chipped in the process. So, you know, I said, but the rice nowadays, all the rice is so processed anyway. What's the difference between offering processed rice and offering pasta, which is also processed? You know, not much difference. So you can offer pasta. Oh, we can offer pasta. Yeah, you can offer that. And what about all the mantras and what about everything like this? And I said, well, you know, then Tyagi Maharaj was saying, well, Guru Maharaj, Govinda Maharaj gave so much amplitude in Villa Govindan, in Italy, right? That, you know, Guru Maharaj, Srila Maharaj has always said that one of the things he said was that we don't claim to be situated in Rag Marg, but we are worshippers of Rag Marg. And he said the Western devotees would have to be encouraged by Rag Marg because they would be unqualified to be engaged in Vidhi Marg. Totally unqualified. They wouldn't even be able to pronounce the mantras of Vidhi Marg, so they would have to be more attracted by Rag Marg. So in the line of that attraction, although I said you know, we're not, I don't consider myself a Rag Marg Bhakta, I just consider myself a fallen soul. You know, so in that sense, I'm, you know, like, may appear to be some spontaneous attraction, but actually it's an ineptitude to do any real. Anyway, Govinda Maharaj said, that will be the natural aptitude of a devotee. He said that if I say, I am a fallen soul, he said, I can't say that because I am representing Guru Maharaj as his successor, so I can't say I'm a fallen soul. But he said, that will be the natural sentiment of a Vaishnava. He said, they will express themselves that way. He said, Mahaprabhu expressed himself that way, that I have no love for Krishna. Well, what about your crying? That is just a show. It's just a show to beguile the innocent public. But if I had a real love for Krishna, I would have died long ago from separation. So Govinda Maharaj said, anybody who says I'm a fallen soul, they said that will be the natural expression of Vaishnava sentiment. you know, of course, there are some of us who can say that and mean it because it's true, and others will say, you know, say that out of natural sentiment of their heart. But, you know, Govinda Maharaj said, I won't say that because, and then they'll say, oh, he's the Acharya. He's Guru Maharaj's successor. He's the Acharya, so he must be telling the truth. If he says he's a fallen soul, then he must be a fallen soul. So Govinda Maharaj says, I won't say that. So I'll say, I was a bad boy and Guru Maharaj made me a good boy. So he said that. He says like that. But, you know, actually, Ragmarg, Govinda Maharaj expressed that. That will be a natural sentiment for the Westerners, and it will attract them because, you know, like about Ramai, he saw his way of doing worship, and he said he must be a Ragmarg Bhakta because the way he offers puja, we've never seen anything like that. So it was, yeah, and it was very beautiful, his way of offering puja, and it was very original, kind of, you know, as I said, would take the handkerchief and throw it up in the air. It was very, his own style, you know. So anyway, I'm taking too long, but that's, then I told the devotees here, yes, you'll be so lucky that Mahaprabhu will come here, and who would not want Mahaprabhu to come to their house, to their temple? Everybody will love to have Mahaprabhu come here. You know, and we have so many of our temples. We don't, you know, so many of, like in San Jose, you don't have Radha Govinda or Radha Krishna. We do in Sokel, Gandharvika Giridhari. Sometimes I wonder, how did that happen? You know, that they came there, but that was Govinda Maharaj's divine mercy upon us that could happen. But, you know, to have Mahaprabhu, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Radha Krishna Nayanya, just to have Mahaprabhu, that is, everyone will, great fortune, you know. Mahaprabhu will go to Panihati. Everyone, you know, is, you know, wherever Mahaprabhu comes, everyone is attracted. When he goes through Bengal, millions of persons followed Mahaprabhu. Everyone's attracted by Mahaprabhu. So then when you can see here is, you know, Gauranga Sundar, here is Radha Giridhari. As soon as they came here, this altar was, you know, was made for them. The temple was made for them. They came and they took possession of this place, and it is their home. You know, like, you know, like Mahaprabhu here. He's the owner. He's the owner of the temple. He's the owner of our heart. You know, and then we see this gorgeous, beautiful, big Tulsi here. Everything is very perfect here. You know, it's just like, this is just like such a wonderful place. We had our opening. We had it in the backyard. You know, there's so many places the idea of backyard doesn't even enter our vocabulary. You know, there is no backyard in so many of our temples. Green Street, Guadalajara, you know, so many temples. There's just a place in the city, you know, where the devotees can go. So I'm very happy to be here. I know I'm speaking too long, but, you know, just this is for us the greatest fortune. Govinda Maharaj's divine mercy that we have something so, you know, I can use the word majestic, so beautiful here in London, and every day. And you know, it's by the airport, but I really don't perceive it, the presence of the airport. I would make jokes that if it was any closer to the airport, you wouldn't have to go through customs and immigration. If it was any closer. It's that close. But you really, most of the day, you don't hear the planes. You do sometimes, but mostly you don't hear the planes going over your head. Even there's more noise, I would say, in Dum Dum Park, and certainly in Koikali, there's more sound than there is here. And yet it's so close. You can walk, you can walk down the road and you can just see the planes directly going over you. But so this is Govinda Maharaj's mercy. I'm very honored, happy to be able to be here today. It's like my good fortune that the devotees of London, they extend some mercy to me, that they allow me to come here and be engaged, part of this program. And Ramai, he lived, I don't know how long he lived in London, but he came here, I think it was 1 year or so he was living in London, was it not?
Yeah, about a year, yeah.
And he's from Indiana, he's from the Midwest, but sometimes he uses some expressions like, and as a joke he'll say, I don't know, I can't remember. What?
Stand me with your bad self.
What?
You say stand me with your bad self. Stand me with your bad self. In other words, tolerate me with your bad self.
Okay.
I think that's what, maybe it has a different meaning, but that's what I got from it. But he was joking.
What did he say?
Stand me with your bad self.
What's that, bad self?
Stand me with your bad self.
That's a Shuddha Shrabaism. I'm sure he got that from Shuddha Shrava. Shuddha Shrava.
I think so. It was a New York expression.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Ramai never was in New York practically. But Shuddha Shrava was. Shuddha Shrava.
Definitely Shuddha Shrava was.
Yeah, Shuddha Shrava, when he had cancer and I was walking with him on the beach, and he's a sannyasi and I'm a sannyasi, and he was charmed by, some man came up to him and said to him, he said, the two of you are looking like monks. He's dressed like a monk and you're dressed like a monk. But he walks like a monk, but you don't walk like a monk. You walk like a New York gangster. And he said, then the man said, are you sure you're not on the witness protection program? To Shuddha. So, and Shuddha was charmed by that. I mean, it was like made his day. Made Shuddha Shrava's day. So, that stand me and... what was that? Stand me
with your bad self.
With your bad self. That's classic Shuddha Shrava saying. That Ramai could quote that. Anyway, I'm happy to be here. Memory of, I mean, Guru Maharaj's mission integrally related with London and.
Another few weeks he said to me, I'm serious as a heart attack.
So I would say, I'm as serious as a heart attack.
I think Srila Madhusudan Maharaj should speak.
Yep.
Maharaj, you are in the line.
I'm just in a comfort.
MC is here.
I'm in the proper chair.
The MC will be the judicator.
Settle this, MC.
Yes, sir. Just want to say how beautiful the Lord Gauranga looks today. So resplendent with a new dress, especially for this festival, made by Hindu, and dressed so beautifully by Krishna Bandhu Prabhu, and the altar made so beautiful by Indulekha, like that. So beautiful, and we are so happy to be in His divine presence, the Lord of Sankirtan. And now we will ask Sripad Bhakti Vygraha Nyasi Maharaj to say a few words. Everyone knows Nyasi Maharaj, that he is actually so famous in our mission and also in ISKCON. It is a fact. If you want to find something and you're looking on the Bhaktivedanta database, you look at the letters of Sri Govinda and Prabhupada. There are so many letters, and they're filled with so much good advice. You can see him there. And he came to the shelter of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Govinda Maharaj. And we see, even now, he is suffering so much ill health, but his fervor for preaching Krishna consciousness so strong, and giving so much nourishment and inspiration to the devotees here and all over the world. We're so grateful for his association. We want to hear something from him. And he was so much dedicated for making this happen, this temple. For so many years, gave so much of his life's energy for that. We are always so much grateful and connected with him in service of Gurudev.
I can remember madly driving around London with Devasis Prabhu, looking and looking and trying to find, look at that old church, let's check that out. One thing after another. This was, you know, I don't know, 2004 or something, 2005, early on.
And he was also the bane of the Chicago, University of Chicago, what was it, theology department?
No, that was South Asian Studies.
That was South Asian.
Yeah, I made a mistake and went to university for 7 years. And Srila Govinda Maharaj I would always say, Maharaj, I'm going to help change the way the university people look at India. And he would go, you do what you need to do to maintain your family. I was like, Maharaj, it's so cool, we can do this. And he's been, as you like, you can do. So anyway, time passed, and I got the...
You did give some anxiety to all the Marxists there.
Yeah, that's true. I got some punches in, no doubt. The post-Marxists. Anyway, yeah, so when Srila Janardan Maharaj was talking about connection with Srila Govinda Maharaj, I always kind of felt like, you know, I'm with him, I'm trying to serve him, we're searching for a new temple, like looking practically full time for, I don't know, 6 or 7 years. And, but I always felt I needed a deeper connection. So somehow or other, I just went to India for festival time, and 2006, and I don't know why I'm saying this, but anyway, 2006, and Srila Govinda Maharaj, he was on his scooter going around the Kunda. I just came in and bowed down, and he looked at me and said, Prabhu, I may not be here next year. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I thought, this is, you know, this is something that means something. So, you know, I decided I need to have a connection with Srila Govinda Maharaj. And, you know, that was the main idea. And I thought he would, you know, say wait or something, but it happened in an amazing way. So anyway, I got that connection with Srila Govinda Maharaj, and since then, there's a formal connection, no doubt. And since then, I've been endeavoring to develop an internal connection. Anyway, in relation to this festival, I wanted to kind of speak about the kind of the underlying foundation that that led up to the development and the obtaining this building. There's, you know, the two personalities who funded the building, Sripad Chaitanya Bharti Maharaj, Bhakti Chaitanya Bharti Maharaj, and Sriman Lalita Madhava Prabhu, have really made a you know, a major sacrifice. Sometimes we think, oh well, they have, you know, so much money, so it's not a big deal for them. But, you know, actually, if you meet people who have money, you realize that it's more of a big deal for them. Generally, it's, you know, it's a substantial, major sacrifice. So, you know, what is our program of bhakti? What are we aspiring for in our development? It's, you know, the idea of surrender and sacrifice, and, you know, so that the obtaining this building is built on that kind of surrender and sacrifice. And of course, it's been continued by the surrender and sacrifice, particularly Saraswati Didi, Lavanya Didi, Sachi Didi, and all the devotees who are participating. But the base, I think it's good to remember that these personalities, we have a debt to them, and in that debt, I think it's important to open our arms to them and make them welcome and make them feel a very deep part of this temple, which they are. Anyway, I wanted to speak also about the development of the temple and the way in which we all develop together in Krishna consciousness, both as individuals and as a movement. It's very clear from Srila Guru Maharaj that there's a what they call a dialectic going on. It's an exchange back and forth, thesis, antithesis, synthesis. And this is, it should be constantly alive and going on. And, sometimes we get stuck in a thesis. This is the way it is. Or sometimes we get stuck in an antithesis. No, this is the way it is. But the idea is we have to be, fluid in our understanding that our Krishna consciousness, our vision of what Krishna consciousness is very tentative. It's very, we don't know what it is. And we have to think like that, my godbrother well may know more than I do. And so based on that, based on my particular understanding, based on their particular understanding, we have to come to some kind of synthesis, some kind of agreement, some kind of development, which will be progressive in Krishna consciousness. This we have to see, and and always remember that the mission that we're in is a dynamic mission. It's always progressing, it's always changing, and it's growing in a beautiful way. And it's our fortune to be involved in that kind of fluid type transformation. And so in relation to our current situation with understanding about the position of Acharya and so many things. Here in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math, London, Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj is an absolute Acharya. He's been given that charge by Srila Govinda Maharaj. We worship him, we honor him. We give the first position always to Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj. It's a natural and a wonderful thing. That simultaneously we give some honor and respect to the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math Acharya Brinda, of which Srila Janardan Maharaj is here with us. And, to understand that Srila Gurudev, our beloved master, our beloved, great friend, has given us a particular blessing in the idea of many acharyas, and one principal acharya, no doubt, but also many acharyas, and how that that combination will work depends on our own surrender and our own feeling and approach to to the idea of developmental Krishna consciousness, of growing, each one of us growing and changing. What did the Guru Maharaj say about acceptance of one thing, elimination of other thing? It's constantly going on. So I'm praying that here at Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math in London, and I think it's happening in a beautiful way, that we're saying Jai Om to Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj, and we mean that. He's he's the central acharya of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. But simultaneously, we have, you know, friends who are great, as you know, as far as we can see, highly connected with Srila Guru Maharaj, highly connected with Srila Govinda Maharaj, who have the capacity to convey that blessing. What to speak of connection with Srila Prabhupada? I have a friend in Salt Lake City who wanted a connection with Srila Prabhupada and was like bewildered about what to do. And I told him, well, there are three who can give you connection with Srila Prabhupada. That is Srila Janardan Maharaj, Srila Ashram Maharaj, and Srila Goswami Maharaj. And he went to their websites and listened to them and, you know, decided to go in initiation with one of them. And, you know, I encouraged him in that direction because he wanted that tangible connection with Srila Prabhupada. Otherwise, he may have, I don't know, he was bewildered. He read Srila Sridhar Maharaj's books, he was convinced, but he had that feeling of connection with Srila Prabhupada. So, anyway, in that way, things are going on, and I'm praying, you know, openly. I'm just kind of expressing my heart feeling that of the necessity of all of us being, you know, understanding our own position and how that position needs to change and needs to grow, and that's a good thing. You know, we don't know. That's the first thing. Like we hear, if you think you know, then you don't know. You know, there are things way beyond us that are going on. And if we pray and if we're sincere and we work together, you know, everything will work out. Like in the beginning, there was some tension between East London and West London. But over time, everything worked out. You know, there was compromise, deeper understanding, and, you know, now it's a beautiful, perfect relationship. So in a similar way, I pray that, that over time, the natural progress of the mission going through this thesis, antithesis, synthesis will bring about a deeper and deeper and better cohesion and love in our mission. So anyway, I hope I didn't get off on the wrong points, but I wanted to say that as part of the presentation, because I think it's part of the life in Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math London that we all have to kind of work on and become clarified with. So please accept my obeisances, my dandavat, and please forgive any offense if I've made accidentally or Jai. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math Acharya Brinda ki Jai. Jai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.
Jai Srila Bhakti Vygraha Nyasi Maharaj ki Jai.
I forgot to mention because I'm the MC, then I know, you know, of all the devotees here.
You did.
Maharaj hates to be spoken any praise about him, but as the MC, he'll have to tolerate that today. He can put his fingers in his ears if he wants, but he is stalwart disciple of Srila Sridhar Maharaj and very dear servitor and friend of Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. Srila Govinda Maharaj said of him that he is the leader of the Western devotees and no one may cross him. Maharaj said that, it is very clear. And I also heard personally from the lotus mouth of Srila Sridhar Maharaj that he, when he was Mahananda Prabhu, that Guru Maharaj said, I consider he is following perfectly in the line of my Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. I personally heard that from Guru Maharaj. So his position is very high position, and he is very humble devotee. He is always very self-effacing, and always very friendly with everyone, and well-wisher of everybody. And he is one of my oldest and closest friends, and I feel much gratitude in my heart to have his friendship, his counsel, and we are so fortunate to have him here with us at this festival. Without further ado, please, Maharaj, you say something for our spiritual benefit.
Om Jnanatimarandasya Jnanandana Shalakaya Chakshur Anmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvije Namaha. Jai Saprika Shishi Guru Gauranga Sundar Radha Giridhari Juki Jai. Well, I'm very honored to be here, a guest of all of the devotees here, and to be here on this day. We saw the manifestation of this temple from the other side of the world. We were with Srila Gurudev in India on so many occasions when some news is reaching him of the search for Sri Chaitanya Saraswat London Airport branch. And that search certainly went like a snake, one way and another way and another way, not going in a straight line, but various options coming up. But a long story short, because others can say the detail of that search here maybe more accurately, but a long story short, it is kind of very evident to us all how this is Gurudev given. And even now that we have this place, with a little bit of an eye, we're driving around and seeing, I don't even see another building in the vicinity of Heathrow Airport which matches this. If you were to be able to choose any other place, it's like, it's got a religious feeling to it, it's got all this large facility, so many things, and it is right here, even, you see, something which we take for granted. The neighbors, first of all, we've got double glazing, secondly, the neighbors on one side, they play a jazz band in there, twice a week or something in the community center. And the other neighbors, nobody can practically hear what takes place, which is a very big thing in a city, so that you don't have, not making any disturbance. And then the grounds, even the signboard outside looks dignified. And the devotees now, with the government permission, they had to apply for permission because it's a listed place, but they've adapted the sign to show the Bhakti Yoga Institute of Greville House. So it all looks so much in place. And we saw how Gurudev so much wanted this place, as Maharaj was pointing out, close to Heathrow Airport. And we have seen it, we've been with Gurudev on so many occasions where he's been expressing this. And so this manifestation, which actually, I believe it was signed, the contract was signed, something was signed on the actual day of Gurudev's disappearance. It's finalized. And you see, Gurudev, he wanted that before he leaves the world, before he would disappear from this world, that he wanted to settle a place close to London Heathrow Airport. So we know that this place has come, we see that it is here, but still it is practically amazing that when we see that such a place has come to fulfill the wish of Srila Govinda Maharaj. And we, as we've heard from one of Guru Maharaj's godbrothers saying, whatever Srila Govinda Maharaj wants, it must come to be. So this came to be by his wish, and so it's a reminder to us all. It is a holy place. It is the place of Mahaprabhu of Giriraj, but it's the place which Gurudev himself has selected and given to the devotees. And Gurudev always, not always saying, but Gurudev, I have heard him say, and in discussion he's saying, oh, we have this temple, but now we have to have the devotion within the temple, not only the building, but we need to have the devotion within the temple. We need to have that quality. And here as we are having opportunity to come again and again and visit here in Hatton Cross, where this temple here, we are seeing the devotion of the devotees. We're seeing how the standard of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev of Srila Saraswati Thakur, then everyone is aiming for this standard and trying to keep everything on track and going sweetly and going nicely. So it is very nourishing to come here. We have experience in this world that mystically, Gurudev is simultaneously in different places, and we all have some experiences where we feel, oh, that only can be by Gurudev, that such and such has happened. And sometimes it's like so much in front of us, we just say, only if I'm actually blind and want to deny something can we say, oh, no, this wasn't Gurudev's hand. It's almost like people sometimes want to deny there's God. You know, we meet people and they say, oh, no, there's no God, this. It's like, it's so obvious that there is a creator from every point of view. Of course, we're preaching to the choir here, but I'm making a similar example that, you know, for so many things are so obvious, it's Gurudev's hand, it's Gurudev who's done this. How could this be except for Gurudev? And I can just say that where we are sitting and the program we are attending today is one of those remembrances of this obviousness of Gurudev's hand to give such a wonderful place. So the lineage of Guru Maharaj is continued. Gurudev is keeping us always Guru Maharaj centered. Everything he did was for Guru Maharaj. He's trying to engage everybody's energy in Guru Maharaj's service. And also another thing we see here, that how carefully everything is being spent for Guru Maharaj's service. And just now it's not there, but one time I came here and I saw on the notice board outside here, like the listing of the expenses and the income, so that everyone can see, oh, this is what is coming in, this is what is going out, and how carefully all this is taking place. And this is the kind of activity that Gurudev and Guru Maharaj would be very much careful about. That money is Lakshmi Devi, and to use this money very carefully, to use it for the development of the name and fame of Guru and Gauranga, to make nice facility to attract people for the worship to go on. This is most credible. So we are very happy to come here, see that the temple is nicely running, see so many devotees, and this year we have the opportunity to be with you to share something of the festival. Sometimes we say to the devotees, make any excuse, but somehow get devotees to come together. An excuse for this, an excuse for that. Any good day, it doesn't matter if it's just a bank holiday or something. You know, we need to do something to try to have devotees come together, engage in kirtan, have some reading, hear something of our Acharya Devs and their conception. And so, but this time that we are here, it's not just an excuse to come together. We've got the real binding central focus for coming together here at Hatton Cross, that this Gurudev given place has come to us, and we are using it for this purpose, for the devotees to come from all over the country too. Some of you have driven a long way, some of you have come from long distances to come here to participate in the festival. And actually it is international, though I know everyone hasn't come from their own countries, but we have lots of nationalities present with us also today. So all of these things from many aspects, and we're here happily in the association of the devotees. We had an hour and a half, or an hour and 20 minutes of chanting kirtan just before we started the talks, etc. And so happy. It's Mahaprabhu's day in one way, it's Gurudev's day in one day, it's Guru Maharaj's day in one way. Guru Maharaj wanted a place in London, specifically in London. All these things that we know. So it's a glorious day, and I'm honored to be part of that. And we are here to give encouragement if we can, and I'm here and hope to give encouragement in some reminder of why we're here. If we can get a little idea why we're here, then we must try really to make our day successful, but our life successful, the place successful, and amongst all the reminders of the temporariness of the world, each of us remind each other, give each other a shake to say, oh, we have to take seriously this path that we have come to. And the assembly of lottery winners. We are in this assembly, better than lottery winning. We are in the assembly of lottery winners who've got the great gift, the great treasure of what is the purpose of our life. We've got the treasure of the clean guidance that has come by the extreme energy of Srila Saraswati Thakur, and we owe it to all of them to try to not waste this lottery that we've come to. Let us use our life very nicely, continue with our friends, and our friends are the devotees. They are the ones that can give us the strength, the direction, share experiences with, so that we can come forward happily in our Krishna consciousness, because it is real. It is not an ism, this, that and the other. It is a great treasure, and that treasure has come to each of us who are here today. So with this I say, Jai Shrivan Mahaprabhu ki Jai, Shri Gauranga Sundar ki Jai, Shri Radha Giridhari Ju ki Jai, Shri Gurudev ki Jai, Shri Guru Maharaj ki Jai, Jai Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai, Jai Shri Acharya Maharaj ki Jai, Shri Janardan Maharaj, and all the Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrind ki Jai, all the assembled sannyasi varga ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Hari Bol.
So, thank you. And now our Bhakti Svarup Tridandi Maharaj, also one of my oldest and closest friends. He's exemplary Vaishnava, continuing quietly, humbly, and practicing Krishna consciousness. I can say, in my life, I've met few people with so much faith in the holy name as Tridandi Maharaj. And I feel myself very fortunate to be his godbrother and friend for so long. Even before that, we were together in ISKCON together. And his faithfulness to Srila Guru Maharaj, to Srila Govinda Maharaj, it is an example for all of us. He is always never claiming any prestige for himself, but humbly going from one place to another, enlightening people with Guru Maharaj's Susiddhanta, and sharing his faith with others. We are very happy that he is here with us today. We cannot think of the London Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math without including Sripad Tridandi Maharaj. He is one of the founders of the London Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. We hope to have his association for the rest of our lives. And I hope that you will all take the benefit of hearing from him as often and as much as possible. And with that said, I'd like to ask him to speak something in this festival, please.
I may speak freely, Maharaj. Your Grace, Janardan. I'm sorry. Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I was. Thank you. Yeah. I hope you won't regret that. I'm sorry I was late today, the traffic, etc. And so last night I wrote this little poem, and it sort of came out. The meter, the way it came out, was kind of a bit rapish. So forgive me for that. I ain't no Puff Daddy, I ain't no Jazzy B, but I just got one or two ideas I'd like to share with thee. That was the second version. Okay, this is a prayer. Oh, right. Poem on the occasion of the 4th anniversary of the installation of our deity Sriman Mahaprabhu Sri Giridhari Ju, West London Temple, chapter of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math. Devam devatamang suchandavaranam balakachilanchitam sandrananda parang Shareka varanam vairagya vidyam buddhim Sri Siddhanta nidhim subhakti lasitam saraswatanambaram Bande Vishwagaram Madeka Sharanam Nashishwaram Sridham. See, I'm just intermingling them already. That's hopefully a good sign. Golden Mahaprabhu, Lord of the worlds, in this age of Kali, your pastimes unfurled. Gods, saints and sages fall at your feet. By Sri Guru's request, you've come here to meet us all where we are, our dirt to defeat, and show us the way back to our home, the land of sweet nectar, where we shall roam in the service of him and her, couple divine, and inherit the wealth of their treasures sublime. Behold his darshan, our Lord most dear, but are we seeing him, or is he seeing us? If you can't solve the puzzle, don't make a fuss. Go on as you are, the vision will clear, and one day you'll know why we all are or were here. Who you seek is seeking you. Wow, that's lucky. Thank God it's true. Vaishnav teaching, in this we find the ultimate prospect for all of mankind. But our journey begins with the call, seek and find, Tato Brahma Jigyasa, we mind, and go on our journey by Sri Guru's grace, select and eliminate our prospect to face, clearer and cleaner through time and through space, till our spiritual creeper breaks through apace the coverings of nature into Paravyam light, and further, as drawn by our sweet Lord's call, to the place where he places us in holy love's thrall. But Vaishnav thought includes one and all, the different visions of God in his halls, his many mansions as expressed through different religious conceptions, their quest. Each high level transcends but includes what is before. The top of the building stands on basement and floor. A man on a mountain at 800 feet, his vision includes what all others will meet at 1, 2, and 300 elevations before. But his perspective is more. In this way, religion is at its core an unfolded hierarchy, not a dominant one, where the higher exploits and despises the lower rung. And the Vaishnava knows this. He is never elite, but always stands on the earth, on his feet, loving and nurturing others he meets, Jiva Doya, mercy to souls, struggling and striving towards their goals, with taste for the name, or attachment, or attraction at least, and service to Vaishnavas, avoiding offence, tolerance, humility, and offering respect. These are the guidelines you'll find in the texts. There are many kinds of Vaishnavas, Srila Gurudev used to say. In percentage and quality, you know the way. To find a Vaishnav, find a Vaishnav you can love and serve. Obedience is good, it goes to the core. All spiritual teachings confirm this and more. But in this world there are leaders and followers. That's nature, it's true. Just don't let that or the other. But all are worshipping Lord Baladev's brother, son of Nanda, Yashoda his mother, Gopal himself. To adjust with this, now our Saraswati Thakur, to abandon all else, of this be sure, declare war on Maya, and not only that, all other conceptions of religion, my mission is that. To harmonize, adjust these views in our front, no easy task, but the Lord in our soul will help us to see both in beauty in the absolute whole. So back to this temple. It's a gift, not our right. Sri Guru's gift for our spiritual fight. Now to love and maintain as long as we live, and allow for the generations in front their souls to give. As birds of a feather flock together, we come to this temple sublime, where the Lord plays his pastimes in this spiritual shrine. Rich, poor, brown, black and white, learned and rude, all here find respite. In service attempts, the soul's only wealth. All find a place for spiritual health. This is the place which alone can fix that which so many in the material world would never want to mix. Sri Guru's mercy and Sri Guru's wealth. So time is short. Our life is today. Our body is on loan from the mother to be returned to her one day. That day will come soon, my friends, don't delay. A line from a friend in the 80s, his song, as he wrote. It's on our agenda, and so here I quote. H-bombs, hurricanes and heart attacks. You've all read the news, you all know the facts. No one gets away, we all have to pay. H-bombs, hurricanes and heart attacks. We create our own destiny. that's a bit of a funny bit. I'll read it anyway. Are you getting this on film? Get a run for your money. Is it tar or honey? I'm not trying to be funny. Kaledo Shanide, this age of Kali, an ocean of faults. May God's name help us break free of this terminal waltz. As for myself, I do love you all, brothers and sisters here. If you can see my soul, you will know it clear. But what appears on the surface is not bright as day, as I sink and float in Maya's own play. Please forgive my offences, too many to see. I'm guilty of much. Okay, I'll stop here, now I'm preaching to me. Vanchakalpata Vishakha.
Hriday, Maharaj, beautiful. Substantial and beautiful, Maharaj.
Sripad Bhakti Hriday Mahayogi Maharaj, who is our newest member of the Sannyasi Brinda, and it is our sincere prayer that he will become empowered to enlighten all those he meets with Guru Maharaj's Harikatha Susiddhanta, that he will show himself to be a model of humility, tolerance, compassion and honor to all, and that he will contribute much to our mission in the UK and the Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math all over the world. He has been intimately involved with our mission for so long, and we are very happy that he is with us here today. I'd like him to please say a few words for our benefit.
Pujya Shri Guru Bhagavantita Mahabhavantaya Sada Bhuvaparya Parampara Prachita Pujet Martakrate Bhakti Nimalan Jasya Nibridam Samarashakam Sadaram Vande Shri Guru Devam Anata Shirachare Varam Nijam Guru Vishta Suprakram Guru Garayana Shisha Sambhushitam Chintya Chinta Samasta Vedinipram Shri Rupa Patanugam Govinda Bidam Ujwalam Varatanam Bhakti Amitam Sundaran Vande Vishwaram Gachivid Bhagavad Prem Rohi Bichabadam Devam Devyantanam Sujandra Vandanam Balaka Chalanchitam Sadhananda Param Sadeka Varnam Varagya Vadam Buddhim Shri Siddhanta Nidhyam Sabhakti Lasitam Sarasvatanam Varam Vandetam Shubhadam Neka Sharanam Niyashvisham Shidaram Anchakalpatra Visa Kipasandavaya Vicha Patinam Pavanabhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha. Thank you for your introduction, Devashish. I don't know if I can live up to that, but I shall earnestly try in my efforts to do so. Of course, we always fall down from the standard, and that's why the mercy of the Vaishnavas is so important, and we have to have that compassion, as you mentioned, to others, because we, as Gurudev has said, even in making Srila Bhakti Nilmaracharaj, everybody makes mistakes. We are part of the Brahma Madhya Govard Sampradaya, and even all Brahma made mistakes. So what of us? Today we've praised, and rightly so, Lalita Madhava Prabhu and Sripad Bhakti Bharati Maharaj for their great contribution in helping us to realize Gurudev's vision of the temple to properly represent Srila Maharaj. But we also have to remember the amazing contribution that Lalita Madhava's father has made. Apparently not so closely engaged with Krishna consciousness, but over the years he has done unparalleled service efforts, printing the first Chaitanya Charitamrita for Swami Maharaj, and manifesting this, helping to manifest this temple. But also over the years, so many devotees, by their service attempts, their service efforts, also helped to make this temple manifest come true. Because I truly believe that Srila Govinda Maharaj was finally satisfied with our service efforts, and he actually, I believe strongly, that he manifested this temple for us, so that we could try, to humbly serve our Guru Varga and continue to propagate Krishna consciousness in a respectable way that Srila Maharaj would want. The efforts to maintain this temple should also be taken into consideration. Lavanya, Saraswati, Sachi Devi, so much collection. Adityananda and Prabhu, the younger devotees as well. Virachandra Prabhu giving so much effort and time. Nitai Chand Prabhu and everybody in this room. I can't mention all of you because it'll take too long. But even for the people who are doing the Bajari work just cleaning and maintaining the ashram, Ramananda Prabhu, for instance, all these devotees doing so much to continue the efforts. And I can see that in the future this temple will be a glorious temple, because the younger generation, the young children, I see them as, I feel actually lower than them. I see them as higher than me. They're so in such signs of symptoms of dedication. I know it's often seen in young children, but this is different this time. It's some very wonderful young children who will come and help and serve in this mott in the years to come. So we have to Jai. I also feel strongly that we have to take inspiration from Srimad Bhakti Acharya Maharaj in our service efforts. He has continued the Sankirtan movement of the Rupanuga Sampradaya and faced the most unbelievable obstacles and opposition. And as Srila Goswami Maharaj said in a recent article, you can see that there was all by him realizing the ambition of our Guru Varga to have some presence in the Shingapoli and building that temple there. We can see that he has the blessings of Srila Shingadev, Lord Shingadev, to remove those obstacles in the way of the Sankirtan movement and to maintain the Gaurapani Parikrama this year. So we from that we should understand that by comparison the environment that we are trying to propagate Krishna consciousness is relatively in some ways much easier, and we should take inspiration from, and I should, from Srila Acharya Maharaj to redouble my efforts to serve the devotees and try to preach Krishna consciousness. He's inspirational to me, and we should take inspiration from him that he's not given up, not run away, and how he manages to keep going and maintain the mission in India, and he's actually expanding the mission. More devotees are coming. It's just truly astounding. Only divinely inspired and divinely approved personality can do such a thing. So I won't speak too long because I know we're running out of time, and I want Sripad Tyagi Maharaj to have some time to speak. So I'll end it there, and thank you all for listening. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
In our Tridandi Brinda, last but certainly not least, Sripad Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj, who we know inspires so many people all over the world in Krishna consciousness. Just recently we had the beautiful Govinda Mela in America, due mainly to his enthusiasm and his efforts. And as Srila Janardan Maharaj rightly said, he is from the new generation of devotees, young man, but who is really empowered by our Guru Varga, who has a real grip and understanding of Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Susiddhanta, very deeply learned in the scripture, and always looking for new and innovative ways for presenting Krishna consciousness to the world. He is a deep thinker, full of compassion for everyone, the friend of everyone, and a great prominent leader in our mission. We are so happy that he spends so much time with us here in London, and that we hope that will continue, that will increase, that we will get his association more and more. We feel that his presence here is integral to the development of Guru Maharaj's mission in the UK. I'm very happy and proud that he considers me as his friend. We'd like to hear something now from him for our spiritual advancement.
Shri Guru Gaura Gandharva Govindascha Ganai Saha Jayanti Patakashisham Sarvesham Karunartina. Alright, well, we've heard much kotha from our exalted leadership here today, and I think everything has been said very well. We've heard the glorification of the local community, the glorification of the Guru Varga, the history of how this temple has come to be, the purpose for which it has been made, the objective to which it is aspiring. So, already the presentation is complete. And we're very happy to hear that. I can only reiterate, what's already been said. My personal observation, just coming here over the years, the last years, and seeing every year the growth and development of the temple has been very heartening and very nice to see, and I feel very honored to be a part of that and to get a chance to collaborate with the devotees in gradually developing this place and realizing the vision that Srila Gurudev had for it. And on the one hand we can appreciate what's happened in the past, and that is best appreciated by channeling, being that inspiration being channeled into action in the future. So here we're taking this time to glorify the devotees and remember these things, and soon in the afternoon we'll also have some visual review of the practical activity that's happening here in the temple and in the community, and how everyone can get involved. And that's really, we can say, the substance of the gathering. Now that you've come to this gathering, now that you've heard this kotha, then what more are you going to do? And everyone can go home with some thought. From this year, here's how I can contribute more to this project. Some conclusion and resolution should come in the mind of everyone to that end upon having heard these things. This is, the point, right? We're told that, if we go to the finer level, like, why does this whole mission exist? What is the ultimate purpose of Mahaprabhu and the Rupanuga Guru Varga and the service that they're engaging us in? It is to distribute the most progressive form of theism that's ever been conceived or experienced on the earth. Right? And what is the salient characteristic of that? Krishna bhakti rasa jari bhavitamati kriyatam jari kutopi labhyate tatra lolyam api mulyam ekalam janma koti sukriter nalabhyate. It is to cultivate a type of devotion to the Lord, a type of service to the Lord that is based on unbridled hankering of the heart, the most intense feelings of hunger and hankering for giving of oneself in service to the ultimate object of one's love. And the purpose of our mission is to give rise to that type of hunger, that type of hankering in the heart of people. Everything else is something to facilitate that. We can have a building in order to make that appear dignified. We can have nice kirtan or nice classes or witty remarks and quippy responses and Sanskrit quotes and all of these things in order to have people consider seriously what this is. But really, that hunger, that hankering, that substance of the Rupanuga Sampradaya, that's what it's all about. And that is something pure, something divine, something that can never be corrupted by anything and can never be misused by anyone, no matter what they think. So that divine descending current of unconditional, irresistible devotion, that is coming down, and that is what this temple is meant to be a conduit for, and what is meant to enter into the hearts of the people who come. So how sincere are we in coming for that? To what extent have we given ourselves over to that? right? Is the cultivation, the heart of the worship that's going on here, is that something peripheral in my life? Is that something secondary in my life, or is that the primary focus? What percentage of my energy, what percentage of my time is going into the constructive contribution to the culture and distribution of that? That we have to consider seriously, especially at a time like this where we're all a little bit grieving from the loss of our dear friend and such an exemplary member of our mission, who set such a beautiful example of someone who lived in an ashram their entire life, who came and had a life in a place like this temple and was fully content with that and didn't have a requirement for anything else, and found ever new taste, ever new experience in that life of full-time service engagement. And we want to say, that's what we want. That's what we want to bring people to. That's the point. We want full engagement. We don't want another place that people just come on Sunday. We don't want another, piecemeal sort of culture. But we want the full engagement of people, the full experience of surrender and devotion that's ultimately giving rise to this intensity of hunger, this intensity of feeling within the heart, which characterizes, or which itself is the foundation for an even higher ideal, which is what we are worshipping and what our Guru Varga has come for. So we have such a deep cause. We have such a worthy cause of service and sacrifice. And by coming, by participating in the temple, by taking seriously the prayers that we sing, the talks that we listen to, the points that are made, and considering the depth of prospect, the depth of opportunity in a spiritual sense that's made available to us by that, then there is nothing else makes sense but to give of ourselves to that. Nothing else actually makes sense. And in other words, it's an illusioned state. It's a deluded state to think that there's a higher priority than Krishna consciousness, and especially the Krishna consciousness that we're getting in this line. So somehow that the clouds will go out, that will become crystal clear, right? And any other aberration, any other distraction that will feel such a hunger, such a hankering, that we can just bat it out of the way and say, no, I don't have time for this, that, or anything else. And how precious the time is that we have, and how valuable the service opportunity that we do have here, that's being glorified beautifully by all of our Maharajas. Then we want to feel that. So our prayer on this day is that as we hear this glorification, that we can really take to heart, we can realize, we can feel something of the depth of significance, the depth of value of what it means to have a chance for service in this temple. The depth of the significance of having that chance to take on a responsible service, and the exalted nature of what that connects us with. So the devotees that are doing that, the devotees that are in this community and giving their energy for that, then how glorious are they? How wonderful are they? How much are they to be appreciated? And what a blessing it is for us to get a chance and to have their association and to participate in service amongst them, despite our own shortcomings, despite our egotism and offenses and so many other things. So again, my personal experience, just having come over the last 6 or 7 years every year and gradually seeing the temple growing each year and the community developing, and especially this year it's very heartening to see the growth of the community. We have Vishakha Didi now dedicated here, basing here, so that is a great added force to the temple and to the preaching, and we're seeing already the result, more people coming, more people participating, more energy going into the representation of the teachings. And also this year Sripad Mahayogi Maharaj has accepted sannyas and taken a greater step forward to the distribution of Krishna consciousness and the service of this mission. And other devotees are coming. Just a few days ago we had Dayal Krishna Prabhu come, and he'll now be serving here for some time. And like that, I can't go on with everyone, but we'll hear more about the devotees who are serving here in the afternoon. But like this, to see very nice devotees coming forward and and giving more energy, then that will create momentum, that will create more energy whereby we will be drawn in and want to contribute further and to see all the beautiful service and beautiful offerings to our Guru Varga that can manifest from that. So I'm very honored to be here amongst you. Please excuse any offense in my presence and being here, and please bless me to have the chance to serve you all. Jai Shri Gurudev Ki Jai.
So we've heard from our Tridandi Brinda the glories of Guru Maharaj, the glories of this mission, the glories of this mott, the glories of our Guru Varga. And although she does not carry a Tridanda, she is no less a sannyasi of our mission. That is our beloved Vishakha Didi. She is known to everyone, loved by everyone. I've not personally known her since she was a little girl. I remember when her mother was always engaged in cooking for the festivals, and I remember she asked me one day, should I take second initiation? She asked me what was my opinion, and she's telling, I don't feel I'm at all qualified for that. I don't think kind of reluctant for that. And I said to her, but if you take second initiation, you also can cook for Guru Grangaraj Shyamasundar, and you can do so much more service. And she immediately embraced that idea and took second initiation. And we saw with her sisters, Ashupurna and Ishwari, in Villa Govinda, they're serving very nicely, all of Srila Gurudev and all of the sannyasis and Gurudev's associates. And someone remarked, oh, it's so nice they're serving so nicely. Srila Govinda Maharaj said, they are better than the very best of any Indian girl. And we saw, that she has taken Krishna consciousness so seriously that she does not want anything else in her life, and dedicated fully to the service of Srila Govinda Maharaj and the Vaishnavas. And now she has come to serve here. She felt some inner necessity, inner calling to serve the London mission. She's come here for that. And we see, due to her endeavors, so many wonderful things coming. So many devotees becoming engaged. She's personally engaging these devotees. Please come. Please say something about Krishna consciousness. Please join us in this festival in so many ways. And we're so happy for that. And so I would like her also to say something today in this festival. She's also very qualified, understands Srila Guru Maharaj's conception better than so many others. And we want to hear something from her. Thank you, Vishakha Didi.
You're a very generous hearted Vaishnava. What can I say? Actually, I feel that I'm a child of this mission. I'm a child of Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Math. Many things to say, but we're thinking what is proper to say, what is not proper to say. But really we feel that we have, even from before we were born, we had the grace of Srila Sridhar Maharaj through our parents, through our family, and then especially when we came. It was when we came to London. I was maybe around 12. That was really when I received initiation very young, but it was really when we came to live in England, when I was about 12, that our devotional life began, because there we had some service connection, and in particular, as Prabhu mentioned, serving in the kitchen. And so sometimes I think my spiritual life started with washing the dishes in Green Street Temple. But really, that is where my spiritual life began. And I feel so blessed to have always had so many affectionate guardians, and like, you know, Prabhu's beautiful, you know, affectionate fatherly expressions that, you know, I was just an ignorant child, don't know anything, can't really understand what type of affection we have around us. And my whole life, and then by Gurudev's grace, you know, went to live in India, and it was Gurudev's desire for me to be there in Navadvip, and he gave me that as my service place. And after Srila Gurudev left, I was there for some years, but, you know, at a certain point I felt I had more service in the West, and in these last few years I've been traveling, but I always felt that I had some service in London, you know, for different reasons, partly because that was really where I came from, where my service life began. From there I went to stay in India, because in Navadvip in London they have some relationship, as that's already been mentioned. And also, I don't know if it's proper to say in public, but Gurudev, he came to me actually over these last 3 years several times, repeatedly, and giving me that instruction, indirect. And finally, the last time, it is in my dreams, very vividly. He was angry with me and angrily telling me, like, why you're not going there, like, why you're not taking this. And I was reluctant to settle down. It was still hard for me to have left Navadvip. And finally, I decided this is it, you know, to follow the order of Guru. This is our life, you know. Vyavasayatmika buddhi. This is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. One fixed, one pointed consciousness. And we hear that Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has very wonderful commentary on that verse in Bhagavad Gita, speaking of this one-pointed consciousness. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he describes this as devotion to Guru, you know, to serve the Lord under Guru. This is our sadhana, and this is our sadhya also. This is the path, this is the means, and this is also the end. I wish I had it in front of me. It's so strong and intense. Like, there's nothing else. I don't care about anything else, even in my dreams. But to serve, you know, Guru, the Lord, there's nothing other than that. This is the means, this is the end, this is everything. And we hear this was like an epiphany for Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, you know, and, you know, when he went to America. And so anyway, I finally came to this point, you know, to serve, to satisfy Guru. If we can, you know, whether it's right or wrong, if we have some indication that this is the order of Guru, then what can we do but give our whole life, give every breath for that? And so I came to that conclusion that there's nothing else for me but to what I can understand, what I can ascertain to be the will of my Guru. I have to try to do that. And so finally, just now, a few months ago in April, I came to start that. And I'm also like kind of chained because I had to get a religious visa because I lost my European citizenship, so I can't travel too much. So it's actually, you know, worked out good for me to be chained somewhere. And when I came, I thought now I'm going to retire. I just want to work on publishing and writing and just go into the Siddhanta, and I was hoping I could avoid like getting too involved in the practical stuff. And then Saraswati Didi, she asked me, oh, you know, we really need somebody to help with the preaching, with organizing things and involving the devotees. And at first I was very, very reluctant, you know, but I thought, no, she's asking me this is the service necessity here, so I have to give myself to that. And so I just first kind of like put my toe in, and then I just kind of dived in, and now that's pretty much all I'm doing. And I have all these projects like in collecting dust in the back, you know. But it's been such a wonderful experience connecting with the community. I mean, it's just the beginning, and I'm you know, doing very little, but you know, there's more to come, and it's been such a wonderful connecting with the community. And what I found here is actually we have such an incredibly qualified community in every sense. Because I mean, I've traveled so much, and we have like in every sense, we have like you know, some of the most qualified speakers, like Devasis. We have like qualified cooks, we have qualified kirtaniyas, like in running the temple. We have devotees who have been practicing for so many years. You know, they're highly qualified in so many different aspects of Krishna consciousness. So we have like so much talent, so much qualification here. But what I've found is that there hasn't been like exactly the right person to try to coordinate and bring everyone together. Because everyone is already busy in so many ways. Some persons are just so busy in the temple. Some persons they're juggling family life. And so what I've been trying to do is just kind of be that middle person to coordinate and bring people together. And there are different projects that are taking place. We'll discuss that more later. But I feel it's a privilege, you know, as it's been mentioned. This is a very dynamic, you know, and growing mission here, and it's a privilege for me to have a small part to play in that, you know. Yeah, I'll stop there. We pray for the continued blessings, love and affection of all the Vaishnavas, that they will forgive us for mistakes that have been made, and bless us for our continued progress, that we may remain on this, you know, glorious line. Jai Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai.
So there we are. Thank you, everyone that's spoken. If others want to speak, I'm sure we can arrange that later on in the day. But we are always trying to make our program to fit the schedule, and here we are, bang on schedule today. So now we can make. It's time for Aarti. Is it ready? Is Pujari ready?
Bang on schedule.
This is a great achievement for me because I'm always overrunning the schedule. Sometimes by 1 hour, sometimes by more. So for me, this is great. Okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, we saw that, and we saw this morning, we were watching the class here. Dainidhi Prabhu here, Mangal Aarti, like in the morning program. So this is like wonderful thing. Dainidhi Prabhu is also Guru Maharaj's disciple, senior founder of Chaitanya, one of the founding members of the Chaitanya Saraswat Math in London, and Kirtaniya. Gurudev liked his kirtan so much. When Gurudev came one time, Srila Gurudev came up to after making his obeisances to the deity, he came upstairs and to his room, and I was there with him, and Siddhanti Maharaj was there with him, and Dainidhi Prabhu downstairs leading a uproarious kirtan, fantastic, beautiful kirtan, and Gurudev's trying to speak with me something, you know, and I can't hear what he's saying because the kirtan's so loud, and so Siddhanti Maharaj, he went to close the door, and Gurudev stopped him. Maharaj, don't close the door. He said, I've just travelled thousands of miles from Navadvip. This kirtan is going on in Navadvip, and the same kirtan is going on here. This is why I've come here, he said. So don't close the door. I want to hear this kirtan. And this is Dainidhi Prabhu's kirtan.
All right, we're ready.
Jai Sisi Guru Goranga Sundar Radha Girid Hari Jiu Ki Jai. Jai West London Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math 4th Anniversary Mahotsav Ki Jai. Vaishnava Brinda Ki Jai. Nitai Go Premanande. Sripad Pranam Pavane.
Jai Saparikara Shishti Guru Gauranga Jai.
Chara, Gopi Vasana Hara, Rasa Rasika, Kripa Moya. Amuna Tata Chara, Gopi Vasana Hara, Rasa Rasika, Kripa Moya. Gaura Hariba, 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 Hariba,
Shri Maranakalin Raj Bogarti ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paramajagacharya Bhaktadara Shri Sripad Srila Bhakti Nirmalacharya Maharaj ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paramajagacharya Bhaktadara Shri Sripad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Gosai Maharaj ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paramajagacharya Bhaktadara Shri Sripad Srila Bhakti Ratan Sridhar Gosai Maharaj ki Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Gosai Thakur ki Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Rupa Nuka Guru Varga ki Namacharya Srila Hriday Thakur ki Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Dasha Raghunath Sadguru Swami Prabhu ki Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasili Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Vishwavaranya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Shri Navadeep Dham ki Shri Mayapur ki the Parshada Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki the Parshada Shri Mahaprabhu ki Shri Koladeep ki Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat ki Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat London Chapter ki Ganga Devi ki Tulasi Maharani ki Bhakti Devi ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Govardhan Sham Gunarada Kota Galindi Yamuna Jyoti Shri Purushottam Dham ki Baladev Subhadra Jagannath Ju ki Bhakti Vigna Vinashaya Shri Nrsingadev ki Bhakti Prabhara Shri Prahlad Maharaj ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Shri Gauranga Sundar Shri Radhagiri Dari Prakashida Bhakti, Ranjan Madhusudan Maharaj ki jai. Sripad, Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj ki jai. Sripad Bhakti Hriday, Mahayogi Maharaj ki jai. Sri Devasis Prabhu ki jai. Sri Vishakha Didi ki jai. Sri Bhakti Svarup, Tridandi Maharaj ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanandi.
Pavan Janardan ki.
Tyagi Prabhu ki jai. Sri Saraswati Didi ki jai. Sri Lavanya Mui ki jai.